Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, red slimes, blue slimes, and runners of all ages, and welcome to another matchup in this opening week of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League Tournament. Our matchup this afternoon being between OOG, miplet, and Beta. My name is Bob Pineapple MD, and joining me in the booth this afternoon is Aaron 2U2. Aaron, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm excellent. How are you, sir?
I'm doing just great. Excited to see this first week off to a great start, and a lot of race action today, so excited to get this opening one going.
Yeah, this is it's interesting matchup. I think it's the first time in a while that Beta hasn't been put in just a four-person like defending champs plus finalist group, but now he has to kind of prove, he still has to go and win this one. And OOG and miplet is going to be a really interesting matchup just between those two. They've both had some success in Winter League. I think miplet actually won a race. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but we got some, I don't know, it'll be some interesting competition today.
Absolutely. And of course, our week one flag set here, it's a different flag set every week, which we're calling it's Winter Chaos Time. A lot of stuff happening here outside of the normal. Shuffled chests are off, random chest locations are on, as well as random weapon prices, random XP requirements. Random monster abilities are off, however, although got to be careful that doesn't trip you up, because while that's true for every other enemy in the game, not so for the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, the DL1 and 2 both operate off of the stats randomized part, which sounds weird, but it makes sense if you're used to playing the game. It's just in this particular flag combo can be a little tricky.
Absolutely, and of course with the Dragon Lord, both DL1 and DL2 being random stats, and by extension then random abilities for them, you really can't tell when the true seed's go time will be. You just kind of have to hold your breath, dive in, and take your shot at it.
Yeah, there's a lot of just do your best and hope that it's right. But here we go. We are on our way. We're going to see gold, torch, and more gold, as these three items are preset based on the flags, but I can't imagine anyone's not going to get them.
Yeah, absolutely. So these three chests, we know. Everything else will be up to random chest locations. But because the shuffled chests are not turned on, we also know that we know exactly where armor is. We know exactly where the token is going to be. Or at least we know that it's going to be at the coordinates.
There's something interesting about the things that we got here. Our characters, very slimy look out here, but it doesn't look like you're going to get much in the treasury here. There was three chests. We still might see some on the backside, but 2 herbs and gold. Getting that first kill in Chaos can be pretty tricky. They do start with the torch, but maybe we'll find something else before we're done here.
Yep, having that gold in the treasury means that, technically a gold grind could be available, but with random weapon prices, that is often not a play you're going to see made. Certainly not right off the bat.
And we did see miplet do a little bit of grinding there. If you go back upstairs and downstairs, you can, get that glitch going kind of special the first time. But OOG's first one outside, we do see a town.
Oh, an immediate hurt more from a wizard is going to send him right home.
That's unfortunate. Beta, however, decided to go ahead and blow some of those herbs and just grabbed enough gold to get back to where he was basically before he died. So miplet is going for it too, but he actually ground up a bunch of herbs, so he can actually come right back and grind more if he wants to. And we did see the rainbow drop cave underneath Tantagel, so something to keep in mind when it's time to go.
Well, here's Remilder that OOG has found, which normally in a regular seed would be great news, but we do not require magic keys, so the only thing Remilder is good for here is to check some chest locations and just a dragon scale in the chest so far in Remilder. There's one other spot to check.
And we did see on Beta side a couple of items there. You got the axe and full plate, so it's a pretty decent set. But everything else was super expensive. But there was nothing else you'd really want anyway.
Well, there's the Stones of Sunlight inside what I call the Rimmelder Community Center.
Yeah, the based on the flags, we know where a few things specifically are. Stones is one of the ones we don't. So normally I'm kind of like, blah, don't care to find that sort of stuff early, but that is actually pretty good for this to just get it out of the way.
So OOG also making that full plate and hand axe purchase extraordinarily cheap. Of course, full plate is the third best armor you can get.
Now, while this is all happening, Miplet has been taking out Armor Knights, and he's already to level 10, and the stats are pretty much right there. He didn't actually make it to the town, though, to buy this stuff, or if he did, maybe we're just a little behind on the tracking, I'm not sure, but so that's kind of, it's kind of funny that the AK-47 wound up being the breakout for him, at least.
Yeah, at less than 150 experience did we hit level 10.
Yeah, there we go. Miplet finally making it into town. So OOG still hasn't quite got that first level yet. I think he did get a kill, but just 6 experience. Not quite enough.
Yep, and just like that, Beta has caught up to level 10 as well, and is doing just a bit of grinding outside. Miplet gonna grab his Stones of Sunlight here momentarily.
Yeah, and we're just gonna see. I think the vanilla abilities. There's a couple of enemies where it's particularly annoying, and the Warlock is one of them. The Spectre, sometimes pretty much anything that has vanilla sleep can be pretty annoying to fight. So we didn't quite get to see what happened there. OOG is currently in a commercial break.
So we'll catch back up with OOG once that clears out. Beta Strep kind of pushing out a little bit in exploration and grinding along the way.
Yeah, level 10 stats are decent, but the MP isn't quite there, no heal more. If you could find something decent experience, probably still want to kind of hang out here. Which seems to be kind of what both Miplet and Beta are trying to do, but they're not really finding anything particularly good, so...
Old man with over 100 XP. That's not too bad, considering what I've seen so far.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. I mean, if he wasn't already level 10, might chill over there, but at this point, you're looking for something bigger, I think.
A lot of dead ends. Beta's kind of circumnavigated himself back up to the northern side here. And it looks like just one way out, which is to the northeast.
It's interesting. Again, we are on small map for this week, and it can be a bit misleading at times because it's not that much smaller than the full-size map, but you lose the borders, so it can sometimes be hard to get your bearings. But Beta's found a cave and a town just to the northeast.
We have Swamp Cave for Beta. It's a Swamp South. Going to check. And there is a chest in one of the possible locations. It's just gold. OOG is back and is level 9 now, so catching up there.
We do see a 106 experience Spectre, and the starting island actually ends. That Swamp Cave is going to probably, it's going to be required to go through because there's no other path through. But it looks like Beta's picking up a silver shield. So
yeah, about 110 gold for that silver shield, 111. Absolute purchase there. Flame Sword's a bit expensive, though. Going to get a broadsword instead.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last time he checks a shop. Broadsword, and full plate, probably aren't going to worry about upgrading those, especially considering the price on that flame sword magic armor.
Beta going into the back of Garenham now. We know the cave back there is not going to be Swamp North because we're going to have to go through Swamp Cave to get to a second continent. We have that confirmed. So we'll see what's in here momentarily.
And it's Tablet Cave, which...
Tablet.
This is where with the random chest locations you really kind of want Radiant. Beta looked at it, and I think we'll see a cast here once he goes downstairs, just because you can save a ton of time on your routing here.
Definitely one. There's three possible. It's two. Two of the three possibles had chest locations. Just gold in the first. And gold in the second. So, gonna have to head out into the second continent to find anything other than the Stones of Sunlight, it's looking like.
Yep, so, well, Beta's going back. I guess there was that narrow path just east of Start. Both miplet and OOG have seen it. I think OOG actually died over there. So that's new, but Beta, I don't think quite saw that. So he'll go back here at some point, but also worth pointing out, it looks like 10 might be a bit of a plateau. We haven't seen a lot of heavy experience enemies, but I think they've won about 600. Oh, and there we go, miplet hitting 11.
3952. Yeah, experience-wise, nothing over 120. Well, I say that, but OOG just took down 231, so Swamp Cave has some grind possibilities here. Werewolf at 137.
And he's picking up 11 too. This is where some of the early routing is actually coming back to bite Beta a little bit. He didn't go down here and check. So instead of going through Swamp, he wants to clear all of his bases, and now he's just going to see that it's Jerk Cave. So, yeah.
Which will be handy later, but not at the moment. Though it does mean that in order to grab the Rainbow Drop, a return to Tantigal will be required, which is a little bit of a bummer, especially if this does turn out to be a single continent.
Yeah, I see OOG going in here, checking out the spike. It's a Wraith. If he's able to get through this might be just a princess rescue and go back home, because this is going to be a very difficult count unless it happens to be on this first island.
I think Beta confirming here that this is indeed a two-continent map. Went to that little narrow strip of land, and it dead ends.
And this Wraith is has a whole lot of hit points. I think that was like 3 or... Oh, see, this is it. Now OOG doesn't really have enough resources. It's a good amount of experience, but that was like 4 Hurtmores to kill? I knew it cast heal at some point, but...
Well, at minimum, he can check the chest location, but no chest this time, so...
So a little bit of a cheeky princess rescue. If he was able to get out of that fight with 1 less Hurtmore, he could have just outsided and walked back, but looks like he's gonna try.
Based on how many Hurtmores he had to throw for that, I think he is gonna need probably 2 critical hits on top of a Hurtmore.
Well, he got another Metal Slime in there, so I think he has our experience lead right now. He's just found the best enemy and has been able to kind of cruise through it, but yeah, the Wraith, he's not going to be able to get through that. And we see on OOG's screen 24 more experience for him for the next level.
Yep, so no massive gulf between levels as of yet.
Beta's about to get the Metal Climb information. I'd be curious to see if he just hangs out here. He has it in his head that, which honestly is kind of how I look at it too. If you find the grind, you kind of just want to stick on that sucker. Because you never know how much time you're going to waste going in areas without anything. Yeah, there's a Magician in here too, worth 200. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the Werewolf's worth something like 137. There's basically no bad grind options in here.
Yeah, just hang out in Swamp Cave all day. I think this is Miplet's first time trying to do anything in here. He might come across the same conclusion.
Oh, there's our level. 127 hit points, 1 magic and sleep.
Again, we do know that there will be something on the search spot. All 3 search spots are active in this flag set. The token, which is required to beat the game, will be on the overworld search spot. So I will be curious to see what people think of in relation to the princess, because again, it could just be a baby count, or you could just warp back and get the princess, but there is a potential huge time save if you have the princess and you go to the other continent and it winds up that stuff is near where Caitlin is, the token.
Yep, those 3 search spots, of course, the token, and then armor will be in Hawksness, and of course the fairy flute will be in its vanilla location in Coal, and I doubt we will see anyone bother with that with random monster stats on. Yeah, Beta Strep just continuing the grind. We're not sure what the amount between level 12 and level 13 is, but we have yet to see one of those large gaps that seems to appear at least once in every one of these kinds of seeds, so we'll see.
Yeah, I thought that was at 10, but then as soon as I said something about it, 11 came, and 12 wasn't too far behind that one, so I think we're still pretty far ahead of vanilla, though, or not vanilla, but of non-random. Well, maybe not. Level 13 and just normal, very fast experience comes at 2750. So
we're about to be right on par with this kill. Miplet back to do the princess rescue, has more resources.
Yeah, he can cast outside. He doesn't have return or any wings, I don't think, but he doesn't have to go back through the Wraith. So there's that. And he can just see if there's something nearby. He can go to the town and not necessarily warp back right away, but...
Well, there's Sherlock right on the other side.
It looks like he's going to try to push out for a town. I would think, again, just with how close this... Well, no, he's got the wings. There we go.
Yes, wings, there we go. So, getting the princess rescue done. We'll see if that ends up paying off.
And we'll see if he just decides to chill back in the cave like both OOG and Beta are doing, if he pushes out a little bit. When you do these things, you're always kind of making a judgment call, I guess, on how hard you think it's going to be or how good the enemies you're going to run across are. If you start exploring and you find the exact same enemies you see in Swamp Cave here, then this grind is devalued. But if the opposite happens, and yeah, so you're just making a gamble about how important the stats are from the grind. I would say that without Healmore and with the fairly low MP, I kind of favor what Beta's doing, but there's no hurt, you know, in going and getting the princess and then just going back in if that's what they want to do.
So OOG has done a princess turn in now, so we've got 2 princesses rescued. We'll see if Beta ends up doing that, or if maybe he decides, take my chances.
I think Miplet just learned officially that you have to go through Swamp Cave as well, so I don't think he actually knew that beforehand. We'll see if now it looks like he's just going to push through, but he might just start walking back and forth before he leaves. Yeah, what Slimy was saying in chat, like, you know, 300 plus experience enemy is amazing, but sometimes those don't exist. And being in a zone with multiple 200 plus another like 151 is that's you're not even thinking about looking for anything else.
Definitely not.
And what I sort of said earlier, I didn't quite elucidate the thought well enough, but the zones that are in Mountain and Grave can be found in the overworld as well. So it's possible that that exact zone might be in mountains or desert somewhere in the overworld. And that's where this might not be the best. But I don't know if you worry about that too much.
Well, we're over 5,000 experience now for beta, but still at level 12, so I do think we have found one of those experience gulfs here.
And he is just plowing through that gulf. He is not... once you make the decision to keep grinding, you just got to keep going. You can't decide to just leave. So, and that's what he's doing. He's not going to stay until he gets that... Or he's not going to leave until he gets that next level. Miplet fighting a really tanky slime. It's not hitting very hard, but it had probably over 100 hit points, and it's not worth it.
Definitely worthless there. So Miplet continuing exploration on Continent 2. So far, we've only seen Sharlock over there.
Yeah, OOG went back to the grind. Well, he did for a little bit. Now he's left. I just wanted to point out that he is a metal slime fighting other metal slimes. And to reference one of the emotes from OOG, that is not a good times droll. That is a bad, bad droll, hitting for 50 plus.
So OOG is going the opposite direction that Miplet did to start the exploration, south instead of north. So we're getting to see different parts of the map here from both of them.
Yeah, Camion throwing out the stats for level 13. It's pretty underwhelming, but Beta looks like he's leaving. So he might just be getting a top off to push through. There was a little bit of MP, and that's nice, but no heal more. Still kind of stuffy. He also might be thinking about going to rescue the princess and wearing the top off before doing that.
OOG has stumbled upon a cave, just needs to get through this wyvern here, and Miplet finds a town.
Something about Alfgard today. Never been putting their towns in swamps. I think OOG's trying to trace the lines around that. Oh, and Miplet did not get to it. He got taken out by a ghost.
Oh no, with 3,150 experience to go to get to level 13, gets that bad news.
Yeah, I don't think he knew exactly what the experience was before. We'll see if that changes his thought process at all. It is real interesting to see OOG just not even check what's in that cave. I mean, he hasn't, right? He just kind of circled around it and just kept going.
I don't think he did, unless I missed it.
I mean, there is the chance that maybe he thought it was the starting cave there, but he's right next to Cantlin. That's a really easy identifier, so I don't think that's the case.
Beta is fighting the Wraith on the spike tile, so headed for his princess rescue.
Yeah, I think this just makes sense. Get the princess. Don't worry about that anymore. And just hope the coordinates aren't on the first continent, so you're not wasting your time. Although, at this point, all of them would be wasting equal amounts of time, so... And OOG has looped around now. He's in the northwest edge of Sharlock, so I don't think he's seen everything over there, but he's seen most of it. Level 14 for Beta. It looks like 2, 0, 13, and 5. He's just going to fight the Wraith again. It was worth 200 experience. And he's got the attack power now. He doesn't need to worry about hurt more. I don't know if he saw heal the first time, but I think he's out damaging it anyway.
OOG has come across a town here in the swamp, although he needs to break through here. It is Cantlin. Well, that's important, because we need those coordinates.
Indeed. He does go and get radishes. Everyone get your favorite radish emotes out in chat.
Yep, validating the seed. Very good. No hidden chest to the southwest in Cantlin. One that people often forget. And we're...
Sorry, I think at some point we called that the Jay Coper Memorial Chest because of the one time where he couldn't find it. But
well, that's a 77 north coordinate, which definitely puts it on continent 2.
and we'll just have to see how far away they are from like that starting area to where to go. You could almost like preemptively use Gwaelin's love on that cave, but I guess there wouldn't be much reason for that. Meanwhile, Miplet did find Mountain. I didn't see if that was where the cave that OOG skipped before.
That may be so.
This is the thing they mentioned about Mountain, is that it has the exact same zone as Swamp, so Miplet's going to get a little bit of that experience back, although he's not really full on resources. I don't think he's going to have a problem with this floor, but Mountain 2 might be a challenge to clear if there's something nasty in there.
Well, the 2 chests normally there are missing, so looks like we don't have a whole lot going on in Mountain, but got to check the rest of the spots.
And Beta is heading back. He's going to heal up here before he goes through Swamp Cave. See if he actually goes through or he continues to grind. I mean, he does know, I'm sure, in the back of his head that Mountain also exists, and that might be a zone he could double up on. But man, Mountain is super empty. We saw that one chest, and that's it so far. And okay, we got the final chest at least is there.
So yeah, Vanilla Chest 5 is there, so got to go around and check that. But that's basically it for Mountain.
Well, if it's something important, then, just save time getting, not having to worry about the unimportant stuff.
It is not important, just gold, so Mountain is a total bust.
We see OOG back at start. It looks like he also didn't quite see something down here, so he's also going to retrace the borders and find that there is no way to go except through that cave. Yeah, and OOG, or excuse me, not OOG. Miplet is the walking wounded right now. Not too many resources, so it's probably pretty desperate to find a town.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Beta is out here exploring, elected not to keep going with the grind, although Beta is quite a ways ahead in experience. Now, experience gaps don't mean quite as much if you've got enemies around that can give you hundreds at a go, but he's about 5,000 ahead, which is not nothing.
Yeah, there are a giant experience gap can be really hard to overcome, especially unless you find something that just happens to be better, which is maybe not the easiest thing. I'm pretty sure that cave that OOG skipped before was Mountain, and Mountain didn't have anything in it. So if he never goes back there, that's actually to his advantage.
Yep, that would be an interesting fluke if that occurred. Oh, I think Beta has now found it.
And although I guess he does miss out on that experience. Not that I think Miplet even hung around there for terribly long. But he's circled back up north, so he might be getting kind of close to where Cantlin was, that OOG found. I don't think that was the same town that Miplet died before, though.
OOG is heading south again, so he may be headed back to Mountain Cave here. Beta gains another level, 2, 2, 13, and heal more.
All right, now looking at stats, again, I think he has the broadsword, so another 20 attack power. He's not really in a situation where you would consider going yet, but you're not that far away from it. So he might, any sort of additional grinding might just be out of his head right now. Just fight whatever comes along and hope that it's enough to get you to the go level by time.
Well, there's level 16, just like that. 3 power, 1 speed, 29 hit points, 5 magic.
And I'm pretty sure Miplet died in the exact same place he died before, to the exact same enemy. Right next to a town, getting killed by a ghost that would not let him go.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
And now looking at Beta strats, I still think he's a little bit too weak. The strength to MP ratio is a little low, but if everything in Sharlock, gives way, this is a winnable level.
Yeah, Death Necklace is a possibility here. It would largely depend on DL1, DL2's loadout and situation, I think.
But we've also seen the sword be a little bit tricky this week. So is that Droll is on the Spike and Hawksness, which is worth a ton of experience. And Oog gets himself the armor. Nice.
Yep, so nicely done there from Oog, the first of our runners to get Erdrick's armor.
Now he's throwing out Gwaylen's Love. Let's see how close he is. Not terribly close. He looks like he's about 30 to 40 off in both directions.
So going to go ahead and do a little coordinate hunting, it seems.
And Miplet might finally get to the town if they can't let him go. Is he there?
Into Hawksness.
Okay, so that wasn't Cantlin that I thought it was, but that's still a pretty good find. He doesn't have heal more, but I think if he heals all the way up and just keeps, I think the hurt Morris got through the Droll for Oog, so
Oog found that he was almost in the right spot north, but needs to head across the river over here.
And now Beta on the way to Hawksness as well. With the heal more, I don't think he'll have a problem, but he's coming in pretty beat up, so he'll also be leaving here without a whole lot of resources. Miplet's taking another fight on the Droll. I don't know. I actually wondered if he was just taking a death warp there, but nope.
Beta takes it down and also grabs the armor. So all 3 armors found. Oog is trying to figure out how to wrap around to the coordinate spot. He's having to kind of circumnavigate things here a little bit because there's not a clear cut over.
Yeah, I think initially he was going west and didn't realize that actually you just go east a little ways, but although he does seem to keep thinking west. I don't know if he checks that. I think the coordinates said he was already west. I might be wrong, though.
And we have Beta in Breckenary, which does have one of its possible chests in play. And it's the Silver Harp, so Breckenary, so rarely required, is required.
Breckenary has redeemed itself. Because somebody left their harp in the town.
So with that, we know where all our kind of plot coupons are. We've got the armor. The only thing we need is the sword. Now, Grave has not been found yet. Oh, we see 2 towns over in that direction that Betas and Oog were heading towards. Grave has not been found yet, so definitely a possibility of sword being there. A lot of chests, but then of course there's a lot of chest possibilities in Charlock also.
Yeah, I let me double check this, but I swear that no, he was going the right way. I was a little bit off. And is this the spot?
Well, here's Stone's Cave for Beta and 3 chests, which is the most it can have. All 3 are there. But no sword. No death necklace either.
So there was a lot of nothing in Stone's Cave. Or a lot of something that wound up being worse than nothing, because nothing meant you would just leave. This was just time loss.
I mean, Oog right on the heels there.
So we haven't seen Grave yet, correct? I wonder, there's 2 caves over here on Oog's side. And I think it was Oog, or Oog, it's Harp Traded and Grave that we're missing.
Yes, that is correct. And there's Harp Trade-In. But Oog does not have the harp because Oog actually hasn't found Breckenary, even though he and Beta are in about the same place here right now. They came at it from 2 different ways. And there's Grave. So Oog is on the lookout for the silver harp as well as the sword. Of course, we know the harp is not in here. So the only possible things of interest in here would be the sword and probably the death necklace.
Gwaylin's phone number is very popular right now, getting a lot of calls. And this ghost is being a problem. Oog did get away, but he did not heal and immediately gets another ghost. That's rough.
Beta finds coal, meanwhile, which did not have any of its chests and locations, and of course, Beta does not pick up the flute.
And yeah, having the coordinates before getting to Cantlin, it's right there, really. So I'm kind of surprised that, because did Oog not have the princess? I can't remember what happened, but he got sent back, I think, before too. So Cole does have the flute, but nobody seems interested in it.
Beta, in checking Gwaylin's love to find the token here, he's only got about 135 XP to get to level 17.
Yeah, if the sword winds up being in Grave and Beta is able to get it, he can just, like with this level, if this is it, he can just warp back and it's go time.
4 more power, not great, but we're edging to that point where it feels like it might be okay to take a stab at it.
Yeah, this is these are winnable stats in standard, and again with the sword at least, so that might be enough for him.
So he's going to turn in his harp because he's got it, so we can take care of that easily. Miplet, meanwhile, has found the Stone's Cave, and will get all of the nothing that it contains. And Beta now headed up to Grave.
The far left side is nothing. We'll see if there's anything down here. The entire west side was a waste of time. It looks like you're gonna have most of the normal vanilla chest locations though.
Beta throwing on Repel, just is really hoping to find sword and then get out.
Yeah, if this isn't good enough, he always has that grind. He knows where it is, and just the sort of random enemies you might see in here. And there's the sword.
There it is. Yeah, he's done. Cast outside immediately. He'll be heading home.
Yeah, we got the jerk hiding in the basement, And then we'll probably just see a rush right to Sharlock. So this has been, really smartly played by Beta so far. And we'll get to see if this is enough.
So OOG was now in Mountain Cave, and of course Mountain has nothing. We had speculated earlier, maybe he just never goes in there, but unfortunately took the time to do it.
And unfortunately, both for OOG and miplet, they just didn't see Breck, so they did not get the harp already. That was pretty fortuitous exploration luck, but at the same time, that's the sort of stuff that sometimes comes into play. But the fact that Beta has a very large experience gap is not a matter of luck. That was a decision.
Yep, now miplet has broken that 12 to 13 gap. Miplet is now on 13. OOG is not too far behind. But the way it's playing out right now, if all things remain kind of equal, and it looks like, it's kind of Beta Chef's race to lose at this point, although, of course, with Chaos, you never know. The rush for second may be dictated by who finds Breckenary and when.
So Beta is now back here getting, I think he went for herbs. He's going to buy some fairy water. That does make sense. If you are going at this point, you want to kind of cover your bases, and that fairy water will do some of that. There's also potentially, he's kind of a ways away. He could use one of the fairy waters to repel with 91 MP. You almost always lose like 4 to 6 MP in Sharlock before you you kind of have to subtract that out of your pool just based off of stop spell casts. But I think he's just going in for the fairy water, and he could just, he might use one of those instead of attacking with it.
Yeah, the MP is a little lower than you like to see, I think, in a seed like this. DL1 is going to dictate an awful lot about everything, because if you've got to expend some to get through that fight, you got to really hope DL2 rolled low.
And now we're also seeing on both miplet and OOG's side, well, specifically more for miplet, the cost of not finding the harp first is that he's going to fully explore grave. And the best thing he could find here, well, I mean, there's the death necklace, which could be useful, the fighter's ring, that's about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, just one of those exploration luck kind of things. Beta is moving into Sharlock, and of course we have short Sharlock, so it's basement only, and Beta has no interest in any of the treasure chests in here, and is going to make a beeline down to the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, well, there could be something down there that might help. Again, it probably isn't something you want to put any effort into.
Beta is using the fairy water in place of repel, as you speculated, Aaron, and we're moving to the spike tile, and it's another Wraith.
All right, yeah, he's seen the Wraith, he's seen the Droll. There's not that many options for spike tiles in Chaos. The pool's pretty limited, and Wraith is the one he definitely wanted to see. The Droll, he was probably going to lose some MP on, but the Wraith here, he can just swing through. It's nothing. Yeah, crit on the last one, too.
Just for good measure. All right, well, Beta is going to enter the DL1 fight, and we're going to see what the Chaos Gods have rolled up for us here. Well, he's taking hits, so not a high defense, Dragon Lord 1.
And he's hitting pretty hard, so he's a little higher on the strength than normal. Might lose a heal more here if he doesn't go down in this hit. Yeah, he's going to have to throw one out.
Yeah, a little more HP than usual. Oh my.
He's going to have to use another one too. You don't like to see this, but it's not like he's getting bad luck or anything in this fight. That's just what DL1 was like.
Here's DL2. No back attack. We're going to throw the stop spell immediately just in case there's sleep or a back end heal. It doesn't land, and he decides to just start swinging.
Yeah, you lose one swing by trying the stop spell. If he tried another one, he would have lost 3. So once you cross that barrier, the cost is just way too high. we'll see. He does have the hit points for some doubles, but he's going to need some decent rolls here. We'll see if he resorts to the fairy water or if he's just going to keep swinging. And there we go. Here comes the fairy water.
Yep, and we're really Beta really hoping for a low HP roll. Dragon Lord here with the amount of MP he's got remaining.
Yeah, he does gain some information from this regardless. He knows that there's no sleep. He doesn't know about heal yet. You have to get to about 190 before you can be confident of that. Another double. That silver shield, that agility is really coming through right now. Oh, and he has heal.
Back end heal. Gotta throw the stop spell. It does land.
He's still got a chance here. If he rolls really well, he can overcome that. But who knows how early in the cycle that heal came out.
Oh, he's wasting on heal now, so this is definitely possible.
I think it's going from possible to probable real quick as he just keeps spamming heal.
Yep, this is great for Beta. There it is. Get your GGs out in chat for Beta. Even with the back end heal that he had to do the emergency stop spell on, pulls it out with just one remaining cast of heal more and is going to take first place in this 3-person race.
And he is coming in with an official racetime.gg time of 44 minutes and 15 seconds. So he did that early grind and wound up on the exact level I think he needed to get through this. Even with a little bit of some fun DL1, DL2 shenanigans. Still ended with a heal more left.
Yep, 44 minutes, right about average for this flag set in my experience.
Race Time gave him a personal best for league comment on the in the race room. And with that said, now did OOG just search the island after he already got the search spot? I guess he just wanted to revalidate the seed.
Yep, needed to search the spark over and get radishes just to make absolutely sure. Now, yeah, between OOG and miplet, neither has found Breckenary yet, so neither one has the harp. Miplet, I believe, is working on coordinates right now, so we'll have the token momentarily. So it's really going to come down to who finds Breckenary.
Yeah, and he didn't check for the token before, which I think was just an oversight. The moment, if you already have the princess, the moment you leave Cantlin, you gotta just check. Unless you already know generally what type of area you're in. But yeah, now it's the hunt for Breckenary. The hunt for Red Brocktober.
Joining us now in the booth while we're watching to see who's going to find that first is Beta. Beta, GG's. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So, fairly quick seed as these go, 44 minutes. What was your thought process as we were going through it here?
I just approached it pretty much the same way that I approached it in practice, which is to just try to find a grind as quickly as possible and just sit on it until I felt like it was safe to push out further.
Absolutely, yeah. We were noticing Swamp seemed to have basically no bad options, and you sitting there for as long as you did was definitely a big difference maker, the experience lead. And the fact that you found Breckenary before you found Grave, meaning you did not deep dive it.
Yeah, I think the routing felt pretty good overall. The map didn't seem to be particularly complicated. The first continent was really quite small. And then the second continent, it was just like you pop out right next to Sharlock, and it just seemed like a really easy seed compared to what I was seeing in practice. Like in practice, I was struggling with navigation a lot. Like I was getting these really bizarre maps, and this one just felt good all the way through.
Yep, didn't seem to give you too much trouble, and yeah, I agree, especially with the small opening continent, not having much going on and just kind of forcing the second continent exploration. Did seem fairly straightforward.
Now, were there any, like, really dangerous enemies in that seed? I mean, I saw the droll that hit pretty hard, but other than that, it seemed like everything else is just a non-issue.
We noticed the droll too, and unless, Aaron, you noticed something else, the droll kind of seemed like the worst thing out there. As we throw up the red dragon stats.
Kamian, do you want to try the ghost? I seem to think that both of our runners got killed once or twice by the ghost. Yeah, it's agility. They couldn't get away from it, and even though it was a very easy kill, it had pretty decent hurt resist. I know Miplet died a couple of times to a ghost, both times right outside of Hawksness. I know I saw OOG almost get killed by one in Grave, and then did 2 steps later. But that's more of like just looking at the stats. That just seems more unfortunate than a truly ridiculous enemy. As we see, OOG finds Breckenary and gets the harp. So now OOG is in grind and go mode. Beta, were you specifically grinding in Swamp Cave for heal more, or was there something you had in mind, or was it just until I feel like I'm not going to get randomly killed by anything?
I would say it was kind of all of the above. We didn't have much magic for quite a while. Like, there was several levels where it seemed like I was stuck at, like, 30-some MP, which didn't feel good at all, even with Hurt More. So I was just basically sitting in there hoping for, like, a big stat boost of some sort to make things survivable, even if I didn't get Heal More right away. And with an assortment of enemies where there's only, like, one bad one, like, I think wizards were like a really low value monster in there, but everything else was good. And whenever you see a zone in Chaos when you have like almost everything is giving you like 100 plus, 200 plus, it just feels good to sit there for a really long time, because you're very unlikely to find anything that's gonna produce better results than that, even though it was a 1 in 16 tile set.
Yeah, there was some talk, and we're like, well, it's not a 300 experience enemy that you're sitting on, but just the average with 3 enemies that were all worth fighting is not something that you can take for granted. And I think it would have taken like that same zone to appear in a desert somewhere for anyone to beat what you were doing.
Yeah, I just try not to look for something perfect when I already have something good, because I could easily waste 5+ minutes looking for a better zone and never finding it. So it's just like, I've seen it over and over again when I watch Chaos races. It's like the vast majority of the time, the person that wins the race is the person that finds the best grind and sits on it immediately.
Yeah, I feel like you just said that for this week 1, the strategy is to don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Careful, you don't want to get DMCA'd for that.
I very much was not attempting any sort of singing. But we had a bit of a change here as the race is going on. Miplet has found Breckenary. He's got the harp. OOG did... I don't know, did he find the sword and we just missed it or something? Because he warped back to start. He's getting the rainbow drop now. I don't think we've seen him go back there, but it is possible, I guess. I don't know, I don't want to doubt Kami.
I guess we will find out soon enough. But yes, OOG found Breckenary just a few minutes before Miplet did. Both are at level 13, so it's going to be up to which one outgrinds the other.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, just with these stats, like if he doesn't have the sword, he's I don't know how he's going to get through because with you, Beta, it was obviously the first stop spell didn't land, but once the heal cycle started, DL2 just didn't stop.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that many heals come out. I mean, I know that the cap is 50%, so there's a whole heck of a lot of coin flips going in my favor at the end there, but like, once I saw the heal, I was forced to stop spell because attack power wasn't all that good. In the back of my mind, like, if I had failed that fight, I definitely would have taken a long look at the next level requirement if I had died there, because if I landed the stop spell immediately, like, that's probably an auto win, honestly.
Yeah, the fact that didn't fail probably cost you at least 2 heal mores, maybe more than that, just by virtue of the way the fight went.
And strangely, Sharlock seemed like it was free too. I mean, we had the easiest spike enemy in the seed, I think, that I could have possibly seen with that really weak Wraith. And then there was just, like, no encounters at all, which was kind of weird, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, with Repel Up, that definitely helps, but, yeah, because, I don't know, when I think about Chaos stuff, I know there's, like, the pool for potential spike enemies is smaller, something like 3 or 4 enemies total. So, when you've seen, like, 2 different spikes, you kind of just hoping it's the one and not the other. You're not really expecting to see anything else, and I don't know, a Droll probably would have taken some MP off of you, either. I don't know what the Droll stats actually were, but it seemed like it was 2 hurt mores for everyone, and it hit pretty hard.
Yeah, if the spike had been the Droll, I probably fail that DL2 fight, honestly.
Well, if that would have happened, I think you knew where the grind zone was. Could almost just chill in that grind zone, and if you got a level and it wasn't MP, just continue on walking through to Sharlock.
So, in watching up here, I feel like Miplet may have forgotten that Jerk Cave is under Tentacle.
Yeah, I don't know if he's... Well, he's going to grind on the Droll, which...
Okay.
You know, it did give a lot of experience, but that was a double hurt more, and when you have 52 MP, that doesn't feel great.
Yeah, I don't think that is better than just walking swamp.
I think if you're going to rely on a spike grind, the Wraith is probably better.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower, but there's nowhere to go to heal here that isn't quite a ways away, I don't think. I guess swing hurt more worked. He realizes he doesn't have heal more yet. That's the other, I guess, pretty big negative. So, but yeah, now with week 1 out of the way, Beta. What are your thoughts about week 2?
My thoughts on week 2 are that it is too easy. It is too easy, and it's too easy.
Alright, so no problems going forward then.
I mean, Big Swamp is a nice little wild card, but with the way all the other flags align, it's just... Week 2 is... In a way, I think week 2 is actually easier than week 1.
Oh gosh, there's the ghost. Okay, got away from it. Now I really wouldn't want to wander around here. For whatever reason, that ghost has been a big pain. He's using herbs. He wants to sit here as long as he can. He has actually caught up slightly to OOG since he's been here, but some of that is probably like OOG checking the coordinate or the princess and stuff like that. All right, now he's just taking the death.
I think my main comment on week 2 is that I hope you and I score the same number of points so that we can face each other in week 3.
No, I gotta keep ducking you.
Oh, come on. Week 3 is a fun flag set with absolutely no RNG at the end whatsoever.
I will say that the thing I like about week 3 the most is that it is a positional round. So that if you do get caught up, deciding between RNGs and strategies and stuff, you're at least facing people who have got to the same position as you.
I'd also like to see Slamu in week 3, honestly. I'm very curious to see how aggressively he plays that flag set.
I don't even think he knows what the flags are for that week yet. All right, OOG is just a little bit away from 17 now. You went to 17, so we'll see if he does the same thing again. We don't think he has the sword, but he might. I just don't remember seeing him ever get it. The one time I saw him in Grave, he died to the ghost, I think, before he got it.
Might get a status screen check here, so we're not be able to tell. Nope, he's just going to go ahead and take the stairs.
Well, he might be going to Grave now. I don't know. That ghost might have seemed a lot worse than it was. It's super soft. Miplet also picking up 15. It's just the fact that I say it's soft. It had 255 agility, but it wasn't really strong against anything. And Miplet is 54 experience. I don't think you have to get that. And OOG is looks like he's gonna stock up on the fairy water too, so hopefully he does. And again, we just might have missed it, but I haven't seen him checking his stats or anything, which is a bit surprising.
Well, if he didn't pull the sword from Grave, I mean, he could just go straight to Sharlock and raid the 1 floor worth of chests before going to Grave. There would be some logic in that.
True, that would, oh yeah, there it is, hand axe, so, that could be one way to check. I mean, it's short Sharlock, so it's, especially if you have Repel up, the first floor isn't usually that big of a deal. Miplet, however, is closing in on the level, and he may well go. He might, I don't know, there's a temptation for some people to just take an extra level or just to keep, to make sure that you clear it in one go in Chaos. Sometimes you see that, somebody's finished and it pushes you into a bit of a meta play. But yeah, it looks like OOG is going to, he thinks the sword is in here, and he is.
OOG going right in there to maybe try and raid the treasury and the other chest spots and hoping that he does not have to make a return trip. Grave?
He did not, however, load up on herbs either, which is a little surprising.
So we'll get to see what's in here. An herb. The death necklace.
I mean, that could be useful. I don't think that's enough with where he is. He has to get the sword. I think even if you had the flame sword death necklace wasn't enough. And Miplet's back in Breckenary healing up. Maybe he's gonna, I don't know, it looks like he's also loading up on Fairy Water to go at 16, although I think he saw it was just a little bit to 17. There's some interesting strategies down at the end here.
So yeah, Miplet gonna load up on herbs first. OOG making the walk. Oh, sees that there's a chest up there. Needs to check it. Just a cursed belt.
Again, we are looking at our second place finisher here. We'll get 3 points. Third place will get 2, and a 3-player race as long as everyone makes an attempt to race. Even if there is a forfeit, they still manage to get the 2 points. If you don't do it at all, then you just get 1. But
and no chest in the final spot, so he's checking the spike tile, and then it's going to be outside because he's going to have to go back to grave.
And he's going to go upstairs.
Oh no! I mean, this is gonna spend so much time. Meanwhile, Miplet is loading up on fairy waters.
My guess is that he just somehow has written off grave. It's real easy to kind of block out something during a run, and that's what it feels like. But see, Miplet should gain the level if he fights anything. Like, I think he was pretty close to it already. No, if he doesn't, 16 feels bad. But if he gets the level, he's going to need to get that MP back anyway, so. Stop next to Hawksness. He's thinking about it. Nope, he's going to go.
Oh, now he's going back up.
Some indecision here. OOG has been having fun with the Magic Griffin there in Sharlock, who slept him. I don't know if that was just one time and then plonked him for like 1 damage over and over and over. Alright, well, OOG does find the fighter's ring. That is something that helps again. I at this point, even with Flame Sword and all of that, I still don't think it'd be good enough. I want to mention, it's not going to matter, but there was actually a chest in the way that OOG was looking that he didn't check to see if it was there. It's the never-ending stairs check in vanilla, but we take out that stair in this because I think it's actually just moved somewhere else.
So Miplet is going to 17, is very close to it here, and OOG checks the vanilla sword chest, and it's not there at Judge's table, and is now going to head and work his way back up the other Sharlock levels to check all those chest locations. And that's going to give Miplet plenty of time to gain this level here and head into Sharlock.
And now OOG looks like he realized that there was still that other check. He's back in. It's been interesting to see the enemies that have been in this zone. Like, we did see the Droll. Not surprised there. OOG was in Grave before, but got killed while he was in it and never actually got to the chests. And remember, because he got to a ghost and he got away with 2 hit points and didn't heal, and like 2 steps later got killed. The ghost, which I've only seen, is like 255 agility. Which I think in Grave means it's still run blocking at half of that rate. So 127, there's nothing. Like, that's almost as hard as running away from DL2 in Standard.
Miplet topping up here in Breckenary. 17, definitely go.
Alright, we'll see what sort of strategy he brings out here. Going to a little ways away. That Repel is probably going to wear off before he gets there. If he decides to use the Fairy Water, just keep it. A lot of people like to try to hang on to the Fairy Waters, but Chaos Sharlock can be such a giant pain in the butt, and you can lose a lot more from not being able to run from something than I think it's worth the extra damage. But that's my opinion, my hot take there.
see Oog coming back from commercial break is already up in the diamond room. Miplet, meanwhile, inside Sharlock, knows he doesn't need anything else and is headed right toward the spike tile.
And I think I'm trying to remember because it's actually been quite a bit. Beta's won, I think, over 20 minutes ago at this point. But I mean, the Wraith on the spike, and then DL1 was a little bit, had a lot of hit points and hit kind of hard, but I don't think there was anything too fancy about him other than that.
And Miplet dispatches with the Wraith. Gonna herb up a little bit here and head toward DL1.
Does 24, hits 31, does 32, gets... Oh! So the Dragon Lord had Weak Breath. I don't think we saw that on Beta's side.
I do not believe we did. We do know that he's a bit of a damage sponge. That's gonna do it. Moving into DL2. No back attack. Immediate stop spell. And it takes.
Alright, so he's in a very strong position. A better position than Beta was coming into this. And as long as there are no particularly weird rolls, and as long as he follows the formula here, this may be a done deal.
And Oog, meanwhile, heading all the way to the right side staircase on the top level of Sharlock. Just a very unfortunate misplay for Oog.
I didn't actually... I had lost track of the count a while ago. Beta, do you have an idea of how many hit points DL2 had?
I honestly can't remember. I was down to 1 heal more when he started healing. Like I think I used 8 heal mores before we started healing. So you could probably do some back of the envelope math there to figure out what it was.
Well, we do see the heal come out from Miplet, and that should make him home free. Again, non-stop heal cast, just like with Beta's fight. Oh no, there we got some DL2 breath. He decided to sneeze in between the heals.
And there it is. Miplet takes him down too. GG's out in chat for Miplet. Will take second place in this race and get the 3 points.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he'll feel about how everything went in that seed, but he was able to, I think, made the right decision getting one more level. 16 didn't feel great. You never know exactly when to go in Chaos, but 17 was enough to win in Vanilla, and usually that will that gives you the best chance, I think. If you can't even win in Vanilla, it's really hard to try to push through in Chaos.
Oog, meanwhile, has tapped out in Sharlock and doesn't know what he's missing because he is retracing a lot of this. But yep, there's the forfeit. We're going to see from Oog right after the finish. So Oog will take third place and the 2 points. GG's to Oog. And Oog is now joining us in the booth. So Oog, first of all, GG, well fought, but it was that sword.
Where was it?
It was in Grave, top floor of Grave.
Oh, well. Good race, everybody. Have a good one. That's all I wanted to know, is where that sword was. Good work, every guy. Good work, guys. GG's. Have a good night.
GG's to OOG. Yeah, rough when that happens and you just kind of forget what you've seen and what you haven't. It's happened to everybody. But we're getting that DL2 stats up, 143, so low roll on the DL2 HP.
Yeah, I did have that 50% heal. I think we saw it a lot higher clip than that, though. And then welcome Miplet, who's not going to be with us in voice, but is in chat. I was going to say, Breckenary was probably one of two really important things on your end. The other, I think, was just maybe the decision to kind of explore, even though there was that giant level gap, seemed to be it didn't quite go in your favor, I don't think, especially with a ghost. And there's like a couple times that ghost got you. I don't know, Kamian, if you want to put the ghost stats back up. Yep, there you go. It was worth a lot of experience if you could kill it. But it was, over 50 or just under 50% resist to hurt, and you weren't gonna break through its defense for a while. But it didn't have a lot of hit points, so. That didn't seem to be a major thing. I'm trying to think of a good question that you might be able to answer in this sort of forum. Were you thinking about when you decided to push out? Did you know how much experience it was for the next level? And if you knew, would that have changed anything in your process? All right, fair enough. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else? Any other enemy that was particularly interesting? Oh yeah, DL1 was a bit fun. A little stronger than normal. Is that DL2's normal attack? Yeah, so DL1 had DL2's attack power, the exact same for both forms. Just he was a little bit tankier before he decided to turn. Oh, and he had 50% heal more? What?
Yeah, we did not see that a single time.
Wow. GG's to both Miplet and Beta for not seeing that.
I guess 50% is either 0 or 100 then.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been enough to end either of your runs, just because it's so hard to know with the way stop spell and heal worked out. But that would have hurt quite a bit.
So we have 2 more races today. Like I said, lots of action today. Coming up at 7:30, we have our Group 4 race, which is going to be between High Spirits, Pav, Silly Dabbit, and Cyberdark. And then later that evening, we're going to have the Group 9 race between Jackamus, Kegalus, Big Slamoo, and Stags. And both of those are going to be right here on the DW Randomizer channel.
Indeed. We still need one more tracking volunteer for the 10 p.m. So if you're interested, please hit us up. Otherwise, Kamian might get stuck with double duty, and he's already helped us out here, so. Sort of pulling double duty because we try to have 2 trackers, but there was only 3 people, but, still.
Yep, always love having the volunteers come out. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got 2 races. Thursday we've got 2 races. We've got a race Friday night and a race on Saturday. So every day you can find some racing action for the Week 1 groups.
Yeah, I love the new look of the Google Calendar. Good job, Google, and updating your stuff to actually look good. All right, but with that said, I think we'll be rating out here in just a moment. Do you have any last words about the race or anything, Beta?
Surprisingly fun seed. and thank you guys for volunteering. I'm a fellow volunteer, so anybody in chat that's so inclined, I would strongly encourage you to do that as well. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and thank you, Beta. We're going to head on over to EMP's stream here momentarily, get that raid set up. But in the meantime, would like to thank, of course, our restreamer Archfield, our tracker Camion, and of course my booth partner here, Aaron 2U2. I have been Bob Pineapple MD, and we will catch you guys a little later today.
Peace.